It begins like a whisper you can't place, a pressure change in a room you thought you knew. The calendar flips, and everyone chirps about clean slates, planners, productivity. But September denies the costume they try to dress it in. This is not a tidy opening chapter. This is the knock at midnight. This is the hinge where the year swings, and the sound reverberates through bone. Something vast is moving toward you now, and whether or not you feel ready has become irrelevant. History is about to stream past the window at full speed. The brave open the door and step into the wind. You've been told to expect renewal. Instead, expect revelation. Expect the kind of clarity that stings before it heals. Expect the ground to answer back when you pretend not to hear your name. Long before we kept time on phones, this season carried verdicts. Harvest demanded truth. What flourished, what failed, what must be released to feed what comes next. That ancient drumbeat is returning, louder than your excuses. Routine will tremble. Habits will unmask themselves as cages. The air itself will feel electrically charged, as if the sky has leaned in to listen for your decision. I'm not here to soothe you. I'm here to wake you. The week ahead doesn't ask for passive optimism. It asks for presence sharp as flint. It asks you to watch for signs, to record them, to treat them as coordinates, because the pattern is already assembling around you, like constellations that only appear once your eyes adjust to the dark. You are not late. You are right on the threshold. Breathe. Square your shoulders. When September strikes, it doesn't tap politely. It rings the bell inside your chest. And that bell will not stop until you answer. The bell that September rings is not random. It is ancient. This month has never been soft. Long before civilizations charted years with ink and calendars, they knew September by instinct. It was the month of endings disguised as beginnings. Crops cut down, shadows lengthening, the air sharpening its edge. To our ancestors, it was a time when the invisible hand of the cosmos made its boldest moves. Even now, that inheritance hums beneath the surface of your days. September is not the polite fresh start that January pretends to be. It arrives not with resolution but with reckonings. It shakes the foundations you thought were steady, demanding what in your life is ripe for harvest, what has withered and can no longer stay. Where are you pretending permanence when the season calls for release? The questions come not as gentle nudges, but as thunder rolling through your chest. This is why, each year, people feel restless as summer fades. Sleep grows uneasy, hearts beat faster at night, and a strange weight presses on the spirit. It is not illusion, it is alignment. The month itself is a threshold, a doorway you cannot step through without choosing what to carry and what to leave behind. Ignore it, and you'll feel dragged. Honor it, and you will feel lighter, sharper, more awake. You stand now at that very edge. September is not asking you to restart. It is asking you to awaken. The script you've rehearsed is finished. The curtain has lifted on a stage already shifting beneath your feet. The question is no longer whether you are ready. The question is whether you are willing to see what September has always meant. The universe's first strike, sudden and undeniable, and just as the universe delivers its first strike, it unveils a sign so dramatic that no one can ignore it: the blood moon. On the nights of September 7th and 8th, the sky itself becomes a stage, and the eclipse carves its mark into memory. This isn't an ordinary celestial rhythm, the kind you notice with mild curiosity. This is spectacle turned prophecy, a fiery red orb hanging above, daring you to feel the weight of its presence. When the Earth's shadow swallows the moon, silence deepens. It's as if even the universe holds its breath, reminding you that endings and beginnings are never polite. They are raw, brilliant, unforgettable. People will remember where they were, what they felt, what flickered through their minds at that exact moment. For some, it will be a turning point etched into their life's timeline. For others, it will pass like a whisper they refuse to hear. But make no mistake, the imprint is universal. Eclipses have always carried a sacred reputation. They thin the veil, amplify energy, and force what is hidden to the surface. During this blood moon, intuition sharpens into a blade, coincidences align into patterns, and the ordinary suddenly feels charged with meaning. It is not only the moon that changes color. It is your perception of reality itself. Think of this night as an initiation, a moment when the cosmos draws a line in the sand and dares you to step across. When the shadow lifts and the moon glows once more, you will not be the same. The question is whether you will allow the red light of transformation to ignite something within, or whether you will look away and miss the moment history itself paused to speak to you. As the blood moon fades and the sky exhales, another cosmic movement rises to meet you. On September 6th, Saturn and Neptune draw near, two planetary titans whose natures could not be more opposed, yet whose collision births something rare and extraordinary. Saturn, the architect, the keeper of walls and laws, demands proof, boundaries, and order. Neptune, the dreamer, dissolves those very lines, whispering visions that dance beyond reason. On their own, they resist each other. Together, they create alchemy. This meeting is not a curiosity, it is a doorway. When Saturn lays the foundation and Neptune paints the vision, the impossible begins to crystallize. Ideas you once banished as too far or too wild suddenly sprout roots. Dreams long shelved begin to pulse again, but this time with bones, with form, with the gravity of reality holding them in place. It is as though castles in the sky are finding their anchors in the earth beneath your feet. Pay close attention during this alignment. The thoughts that flicker in your mind are not random. They are invitations. The sudden clarity, the surprising encounter, the small resource that appears just when you need it. These are signs that the universe is sketching blueprints for what you once thought unattainable. Do not dismiss them. Saturn demands commitment. Neptune demands trust. Together, they ask you to believe that your vision is worthy of becoming real. This is not about instant results. It is about recognizing that the invisible is beginning to take form, that the dream has been given permission to step into the world. The question lingers, bold and unrelenting. Will you dare to cross that threshold, to claim the life your imagination has already built in silence? When Saturn and Neptune finish weaving their strange alliance, their influence doesn't linger in the sky alone. It descends into your very connections, the fabric of your human world. Suddenly, the people around you seem unfamiliar, as if overnight the stage has been rearranged and every character is playing a different role. A friend who once filled every silence with laughter grows quiet. A coworker who barely noticed their tasks burns with sudden determination. Someone you trusted without question feels distant, while another, barely visible before, steps forward with unexpected loyalty or wisdom. It is unsettling, but it is no accident. What you are witnessing is not people transforming into strangers. It is their masks dissolving. September's intensity has a way of stripping off the disguises we've worn for comfort. Roles played, identities rehearsed, expectations carried for too long. The eclipse and the planetary alignments act as revelations, shaking illusions until only truth remains. And the truth, though liberating, can sting. We often cling to the comfort of our projections, This person will always be stable. That one will always fade into the background. But this week, those illusions collapse like brittle walls. Do not resist the rearrangement. The shifting roles, the sudden departures, the new arrivals, these are not random. They are alignment in motion. The universe is showing you with undeniable clarity who belongs in the chapter you are stepping into and who cannot walk any further beside you. Some exits will ache. Some revelations will shock. But all of it clears the way for bonds that reflect who you truly are becoming. And remember, as you watch others revealed, you too are being seen. The mask you've worn, the role you've played, is falling away. Some may not recognize the version of you emerging. Others may finally notice the strength they overlooked. Allow it. This is the chemistry of September, the unveiling of truth within every connection you hold. As relationships shift and masks fall away, another battleground emerges, not in the world outside, but in the quiet war between your mind and your gut. September sharpens this conflict until it feels unavoidable. You will find yourself at crossroads where every logical reason points in one direction, yet a deeper wordless pull insists on another. The tension can feel unbearable, as though your very being is being torn between safety and truth. Imagine this. The facts line up neatly. The numbers support the choice, and everyone around you nods in agreement. But in your chest, something tightens. Doubt isn't the right word. It's a knowing that refuses to be silenced, or the opposite. Nothing looks rational on paper. Everything screams reckless, yet you feel a magnetic draw toward it, as if destiny itself is tugging your sleeve. This is not confusion. It is training. The universe, through Saturn's rigid order and Neptune's boundless vision, is forcing you to listen. Logic offers comfort. Intuition offers alignment. Both voices have value, but only one will lead you into the life that actually belongs to you. This week is about discerning which voice truly moves you. Comfort will keep you safe. Alignment will keep you alive. Do not rush to silence the argument. Sit with it. Write it down. Notice the moments your head says no, while your gut whispers yes. Later, you will look back and see that these inner clashes were not distraction but signposts. They sharpened your awareness, carving the skill of recognizing your own truth, even when the world cannot see it. And once you know that voice, once you dare to trust it, you will never be able to betray yourself again. The tug-of-war between logic and intuition leaves you raw, stripped of excuses, and standing face to face with a truth most people resist. You cannot carry everything forward. September's energy does not simply invite, it demands release. In a world obsessed with adding more, manifesting more, collecting visions like trinkets, this week dares you to practice the opposite art, subtraction. Letting go is not weakness. It is an act of divine courage. Look closely at what clings to you. Perhaps it is an obligation that drains you daily, a relationship that has withered into silence, or a habit gnawing at the edges of your spirit. But it might also be subtler, an identity you outgrew, a grudge you keep alive out of pride, or a dream you once held that no longer fits the person you're becoming. The eclipse, the conjunctions, the shifting bonds, all echo the same hidden theme. Clear the stage, the roles, the scenery, the old script. You cannot step into the next act while gripping the last one. This is not about loss, but transformation. Energy never dies. It simply shifts form. What you willingly release does not vanish into nothing. It becomes the fertile soil for what is to come. The grudge you surrender clears space for lighter conversations. The role you abandon allows a truer version of yourself to emerge. The weight you set down frees your hands to build what actually matters. Do not wait for the universe to rip away what you already know has expired. Offer it freely. Speak it. Write it. Burn it if you must. But release it with intention. That single act declares to the cosmos, I am ready for alignment. And in that moment, the space you create will not remain empty. It will be filled with the very future your spirit has been aching to step into. When you release what no longer belongs, space opens, not only in your life, but in your heart. And in that tender emptiness, kindness becomes a force unlike any other. Most weeks, kindness feels like courtesy, a choice of manners. But in this charged September, it transforms into something far greater: alchemy. Every word, every gesture, every act of compassion reverberates louder, carrying consequences that ripple far beyond what you can see. People around you are stretched thin, raw from eclipses, awakenings, and inner battles of their own. Many won't even understand why their patience is frayed, why they feel restless or on edge. Here, a single act of grace has the power to shift their entire trajectory. Forgive someone, not because they deserve it, but because you choose peace. That one release lifts a weight not only from you, but from them, and the chain of light it sparks may reach further than you'll ever know. Listen deeply to someone who feels invisible, and that moment may become the proof they carry into tomorrow, that they matter, that their existence is felt. The universe amplifies energy now. Words stretch further, emotions sink deeper, gestures multiply in unseen dimensions. Let someone merge into traffic. Send the message you've delayed. Speak encouragement instead of silence. These choices become seeds, scattered into unusually fertile ground, sprouting into futures you may never witness but helped create. Do not be surprised if kindness feels harder than usual. Tension will push you to close yourself off, to guard your energy with sharp edges. But that is exactly why kindness holds such power here. To extend softness when the world is jagged is to wield the most transformative magic of all. And that magic is not small. It cracks storms wide enough for light to flood in. Kindness cracks storms open, and through those openings, growth pours in. But make no mistake, growth rarely arrives dressed in beauty. It is not the graceful unfolding we like to imagine. Real transformation is unruly, chaotic, and raw. And this September, under eclipses and shifting skies, you may feel it more intensely than ever. Progress will not feel polished. It will feel like stumbling in the dark, like tripping over parts of yourself you didn't know existed. Think of how children grow, tumbling, falling, rising again with scraped knees and wide eyes. Adults grow no differently. We only forget, expecting ourselves to have everything figured out. But the universe has no interest in your perfection. It demands your willingness to move, even if the steps are clumsy. This week, the ground may feel unstable. You may second-guess choices, backtrack, or change direction suddenly. It will feel messy, perhaps even humiliating at times. Yet that mess is not failure. It is motion, and motion is the proof you are no longer stuck. Vulnerability will surface. Old insecurities may flare, doubts may feel louder, every flaw exposed. And maybe they are being exposed, but not to shame you. Vulnerability is the soil in which breakthroughs take root. Discomfort is the signal that you are breaking out of patterns too small for the person you are becoming. Do not waste your energy trying to keep it clean. Do not fight the scattering of pieces. The mess is the evidence of life reshaping itself through you. One day soon, you will look back at this exact chaos and recognize it for what it was: the fingerprint of transformation. Growth does not wear the mask of success. It wears the wild face of becoming. and only those willing to embrace the chaos will touch the strength waiting beyond it. The chaos of growth may feel personal, as if the storm were made just for you. But pause and widen your gaze. You will see the same turbulence echoed everywhere. This week is not a private trial. It is a collective rising. The same eclipse that cracks you open is cracking open millions. The same Saturn Neptune pull that tugs at your dreams is tugging at theirs. Every restless thought, every sleepless night, every sudden wave of hope or fear is mirrored in countless others across the globe. You are not alone in this upheaval. You are synchronized. That heaviness in your chest, the racing thoughts, the moments of clarity followed by confusion, these are not just yours. They are the hum of a planetary field vibrating at a higher frequency. Some will call it chaos, others awakening. But no matter the name, the truth is the same. Humanity is being shifted together, and when millions are stretched into heightened awareness at once, something extraordinary is born. Private struggles weave into a global turning point. Your transformation is one thread in a tapestry far larger than you can see. This is why unity matters now more than ever. The kindness you extend ripples through this amplified field. A word of encouragement, a gesture of understanding, even silent recognition that we are in this together. These choices multiply in ways impossible to track, but undeniable in effect. What once felt like isolation begins to feel like belonging. The storm, heavy as it is, becomes lighter when you realize the weight is shared. September is not here to break you. It is here to link you. Individual awakening is powerful, but collective awakening is unstoppable. And you, whether you feel prepared or not, are part of that unstoppable wave. Stand in it. Add your light to it. Because when the world rises together, no shadow, no matter how vast, can hold. And so, as the collective tide swells, we arrive at the threshold that divides the before from the after. Years from now, when you look back at 2025, this week will not blur into the noise of routine. It will gleam like a fracture line in memory, the place where something cracked open and refused to close again. Comfort may have slipped from your hands, but in its place, clarity has been given. The truth revealed in these days will ripple across the months ahead, shaping choices, testing courage, and marking turning points you have not yet imagined. Do not mistake this moment as just another page on the calendar. It is a living threshold. The eclipse, the alignments, the revelations, they have all been preparing you to cross into a chapter that cannot be written with old ink. This is why September has struck so fiercely. To awaken you into participation, to demand your presence, to remind you that transformation does not wait for permission. The universe does not whisper. It tolls the bell, and that sound reverberates through every soul alive right now. Stay awake. Watch for the signs. Record the synchronicities, the whispers of intuition, the sudden openings that appear in unlikely places. These are not accidents. They are coordinates. Follow them, and you will trace the outline of the future already unfolding. Ignore them, and you risk wandering blind through the most decisive moment of your lifetime. By the year's end, you will understand. The ripples you feel today are the first waves of a tide that will reshape everything by tomorrow. You were not meant to sleep through this. You were meant to rise with it. So breathe deep, step forward, and remember, the strike of September was never here to break you. It was here to awaken the part of you strong enough to carry the light into what comes next.